Yep. All right, welcome back in for game number 2 here of the NCLL Division II Championship Tournament bracket. We have the High Point Panthers from High Point University in North Carolina taking on the Bryant Bulldogs from Smithfield, Rhode Island. High Point, the 3 seed, Bryant, the 6 seed. They snuck in here after UMass was disqualified from the tournament, and they have earned their trip to UMD. Tim Duffy on the call here today for Fans Only Sports Network, as we just had a fantastic game, a thriller between Georgetown and Union College, a 14-13 overtime victory for Georgetown, who will play Kentucky later today. Panthers, Bulldogs, NCLL action here on Fans Only Sports Network. As a little bit slow to start this face-off. Yeah, I guess that sounds right. But a lot of viewers here today as we're underway. Here with High Point getting it first. They take it immediately, and it's a save from Ethan Hall. And that was a long shot from Jack Sundin right there. So this is the 6-3 matchup. We have Westchester against Marist on the other side of the field. As this game is brought to you, of course, by Powell Lacrosse. As you all know, this game goes far beyond the end line and carries on long after the last blow of the whistle. Since the early 1990s, the Powell family has been fueling the imagination of players, fans, and enthusiasts with their highly energized brand of lacrosse. Inside, that shot goes off the mark, and unique backyard style. From their humble beginnings inside the small upstate New York paper mill town of Champion, the Powell brothers played the game with fire, unrivaled creativity, and wild passion. Over the course of their careers, they became 3 of the most decorated lacrosse players. And that shot scores for Jack Sundin as High Point on the board first. Panthers goal, but you can visit PowellLacrosse.com to do some shopping around and join the journey. They offer an industry-leading 1-year warranty on all of their products, and every single stick that leaves their headquarters is strung by the hands of a certified Powell craftsman. To make sure your stick is throwing perfect right out of the box, you can use coupon code NCLL24 for 10% off of your entire order and start your relationship with Powell today. But hey, back to action. Oh, a huge hit laid out, and what a way to get back into it there as Will Lowe ate some turf on that one. High Point will maintain possession, get it back. And Bryant, we saw a lot of Bryant this year. If you don't know, Fans Only Sports Network based in Rhode Island, so we were at a lot of Bryant games this season. This is a team that beat up on a lot of opponents as Consiglio, one of the leading scorers on this squad, ties the game with a bullet. Jason Consiglio makes it 1 apiece. And Bryant able to get it here off the faceoff. It's DeProspero. He couldn't hold on to it. And this one launched down the field by Hudson Weasel. Little pump fake. Oz Curtis gives it up. Here's Will Lowe. High Point coming in this tournament on a 4-game win streak. They were the number 1 team in the preseason. They're currently number 3, as they are the 3rd seed here today. 8-3 on the year coming into this game. Flag flies, pass inside, shot scores on the free play for Will Lowe. Makes it 2-1. So the goal was good. The penalty waved off. And back and forth already. And we had a thriller first game. I said it was tough to live up to, but a hot start here today. And off the face-off, it's won by Graham Weasel. Weasel, extra pass in that one. Oh, they had it. A good look. Will Harris could not get it on the money to Jack Amato there. And it's turned over. Back to Bryant. Connor Umile up ahead. This one knocked into the woods, as we'll probably never see that ball again. Bryant trying to tie things up. Here's Pesci. Over to Van Luling. Putting on the Jets. It's Ferrucci inside. He couldn't get the shot on target. McLaughlin there, though, to keep it with the Bulldogs. Medeiros trying to back down his defender. Van Luling now. And Pesci. Thought about going right, went left instead. And you got Keo Kiriakos here. Watch out for this guy. I mean, he's almost a certainty to score at least once a game in our time watching him. And here is Kiriakos. Van Luling gets inside. Van Luling takes it on the bounce. It's saved. Flies up in the air and will be scooped up by Arasti. He couldn't hold on to it. Van Luling was there to knock it out, and he gets it back on the pass from McLaughlin. It's a good save by Adam Rabb, who's in net for high points. And it will stay with the Bulldogs. He's 6 seed looking to tie things up. Van Luling. Pesci. Pass here to Frucci, and this will stay with Bryant. I thought the whistle blew, but it looked like they just kept playing. But here's Medeiros. And that was from the other side of the field. A lot of whistles here at UMD, and this one will be close to the end line. And they say it was over the line right there for Billy Gardner. Couldn't get away with it. It's going the Panthers' direction. It's Frucci. We're to Hedden. Jack Sundin, who's already scored. He had the first goal in the game mid-ad read. Pass inside off the fingertips of Preston Hoey and right to the midst of Ethan Hall. Here's Gardner. Kiriakos with some space, can't do that. Bodies a defender and gets it saved by Rabb. Goes airborne there, and it'll be scooped up by Kiriakos. They're going to blow it dead first. And a hold on the play while the ball was still in the air, as it was coming down at least, and it's going to be Bryant ball. Here's Consiglio trying to cut inside, gets around the corner. Still has it. And we'll defer it backwards here to Chapetta. Harry Fulowski gets that one saved. And High Point will come away with it here. Putting on the afterburners is Anthony Pipia. Pipia will restart the possession here. This one kicked around. Garrett McAloon picks it up. Kiriakos Waiting for his teammates to catch up as we are about 9 minutes into this first quarter. Chapetta. McLaughlin from the X here. He's picked up by Jeff Erasti, and McLaughlin spins out of it. Now swings it back over to Chapetta. Here's Pesci. At the top, a couple of screens from Blaze LaValle and Consiglio. Pesci going all the way with it. He hits the side of the net. Oh, thought that went in from our vantage point for a sec, but he missed it off the side of the net. Here is Erasti. We're to Steven Shapiro. Racing out of the net. Rab looking where to go with it here. And Rab looking to fling this one. He gets it out of his stick. And on the move with it, Aiden Boris. Hoey. Sundin. Extra pass. It's Belamo. Preston Howie. Into traffic. It's caught by Curtis. Big fella. To Howie. And High Point nursing this 1-goal lead. We have not seen any scoring in about 7 minutes at this point, as it's been at 2-1 for quite a while in lacrosse terms. Anthony Bellamo. This is a High Point team that was in the championship last year. They lost it to Westchester. They lost in the postseason. This is a squad that lost in the Elite Eight 2 years ago. That shot scores! Jack Amato inside, and it's a 3-1 lead for High Points. But this High Point program, old since 2022. Bryant on the flip side, this is their 7th year in operations. They're since 2018. Going 6-2 for the 3rd consecutive year. After UMass B was disqualified from the tournament for some roster issues, they played Brown University for the right to go to Maryland this weekend. On Monday, they won that game 8-3, beating Brown for the 2nd time this season. So 2 different paths to this tournament, and even for High Point, they've had some impressive wins against NCLL, Virginia Tech, App State, William & Mary, and then Duke as well. They just lost to D1 Virginia 6-5 in Charlottesville, as this is the D2 side of the NCLL bracket. Westchester and Marist, a couple New York squads across the field. Winner of this game will play the winner of that game later tonight. We'll have that game over here at 5 p.m. Inside, Amato trying to hold on to it, could not. Defensively, it's Carney there, and Carney comes away with it. Gardner couldn't reel it in, and it's scooped up by Chris Courier. Kyriakos coming from behind is Pipia. It's Frucci. Bryant looking to tie things up at 2 apiece. Matt Hedden. And now it's Van Luling. Got a call for if he had a goal. He got some space here. He'll have to backpedal as he's chased by Howie. And Van Luling puts on the Jets. Got a good look. Kicks to Kyriakos instead. Fakes it right. Fakes it left. Goes back right. Trying to use that muscle to get some separation there. And has to give it back up. Van Luling as Bryant does not have an answer for this high point defense so far in this first quarter. On the plus side of the field, Van Luling, he gets out of one. A flag is down. It's a free play for the Bulldogs. Chapetta to McLaughlin. Just cannot get it in High Point's hands. They want to capitalize on this free play, but they'll have a man up if they don't score here. Here's Kyriakos going right, takes it, and scores! Keo Kyriakos with the goal. And it will still be a man-up chance for Bryant, as there was a slash against Preston Howie when he was guarding Van Luling a moment ago, and that's a man-up advantage for the Bulldogs. Down a goal. 5 minutes left here in the first quarter, and it's a 1-minute penalty. False start on the face-off here. And it's going to be against Bryant. And DiProspero can't believe it. So here's the face-off man for Bryant that time. So High Point, a man down, they'll have it here. They're going to try to kill some of this clock on the advantage for Bryant, and it goes the other way. Turnover here. LaValle slings it down the field. He's got a man. A lot of space. Dylan Raver. Here's Consiglio. Bryant, they couldn't take everyone on the team on the trip here. Here's a good look for Falowski. That one's too tall, and Falowski, the captain of this squad, he has helped lead this team the last few years. Ferrucci, Kyriakos. Consiglio wants it, and that one is saved. Hits off the post, it looked like, actually. This is the end of the man-up chance now. It's even again. Bryant couldn't score. They still control as Consiglio's shot too tall. This is going to stay with the Bulldogs. Final 3 minutes now here in the first quarter. Ferrucci spins from behind the net, kicks inside, good look, shot, score. Joe Chapetta ties it at 3 apiece. It's back-to-back for the Bryant Bulldogs. .240 left, so yeah, our clock pretty caught up. We're a couple seconds ahead, but that is how much time is left in the first quarter. 2:40 and counting down as of a few seconds ago. 4 20-minute running clocks, running quarters, by the way, in the NCLL playoffs. It's 15 minutes in the regular season, but in the postseason, 20 minutes. These are some long games. We have a long day ahead with a lot of good action here on Fans Only Sports, as this one's picked up by Gardner. Sullivan. Pesci. Van Luling. Over to Pesci. Bryant looking for their first lead of the game. As we're inside, almost 90 seconds left in this first quarter. Brought to you by Powell Lacrosse. Van Luling with a low grab. He's going to go left. We'll circle backwards. Pesci. Flings it. Chapetta makes the play. Chapetta to LaValle. A minute to go here in the first. Tie game at 3 apiece. Kyriakos, who scored 1 already. And Kyriakos will stop, turn. As Bryant has just dominated the possession. They get a call for the slash. Kyriakos missed the shot. But this will be another man-up chance here, and it's going to be Pipia gets called for the slash. He's going to go in the box. Not Pipia, rather it's Will Lowe, and it's for a minute. So another man-up for Bryant. And this will milk into the second quarter most likely. But here's Consiglio over to Kyriakos. Chapetta, extra pass. Volowski gets shoved to the turf. Boris coming in defensively. It's going to stay with Bryant though. And it looks like Volowski would have had a good look for a goal there. He couldn't hold on to it amidst the traffic. An official timeout called. So our clock will hit quadruple zeros. There will be time for about one more play though. One more sequence for the Bulldogs. Van Luling gets it back. 20 seconds. That's the verdict. Van Luling fires, and he missed it right. This could be high points. Ball, and it is, as Rab caught up to it. Final ticks. They're just going to hold it, it looks like. And that is going to end the first quarter here. Tie game, 3 apiece. Panthers were up 3-1. Bryant scored the last 2, and we've seen 6 goals today by 6 different goal scorers here in this first quarter. So a good one so far in the first 20 minutes. And we come back 20 more here on Fans Only Sports Network. Yes, sir. We're in commercial. I gotta piss, bro. Right back here for quarter number 2 as Bryant will start the quarter on the man up still. And because of that, they'll have the ball. No face-off to begin the second. Actually, no. It's High Point who starts off with it. My apologies. And the penalty ends with that. So that is why, because High Point had the ball at the end of the quarter, shorthanded, so they got to start off with it. And now it's back to even. And it's Preston Hoey. Oh, with that short stature, looking at about 5'6" from up here, but he's been one of the most active guys offensively in this first half for High Point, as it's Hoey Swinging it to Amato. Feed inside with some space. Jump shot. Scores for Graham Weasel. Got some separation through the air, and it's the fourth different Panther goal scorer here in the first half. So the Panthers back in front. They're yet to trail in this game. It's been tied twice, and they're in the driver's seat for now. And Sundin at midfield. A lot of congestion with the substitutions for High Point trying to regroup, and now it's Amato. Amato trying to get through traffic, gets knocked out of his mitts from behind by Jack Carney, who takes it away. Gardner up to Carney. And on the move now, it's Liam Sullivan. Sullivan keeps it, makes a couple pump fakes there, and gets it back to midfield over to Tate Leverone. Bryant looking to tie things back up for the third time today. They have answered back on 2 occasions here, and this one bounces around, finds Leverone again. Medeiros. Medeiros pass inside LaValle. Got it saved. Back to Medeiros though, and he'll swing it to LaValle. This one is off the stick of Sullivan. It's on the ground ball picked up by Jeff Erasti, who gets on the move for High Points. This one loose again at midfield, on the move with it, Charles Niles. So it's offsides against Bryant, and it will be a man-up chance here. So it is Liam Sullivan going to the box, and first man-up advantage for Panthers today. Up a goal. Preston Howie. There's Weasel, and it's over to Flowski inside. Oh my goodness, highlight reel shot. No looker from Will Medeiros. Oh, what a way to tie things up. And Medeiros with some fashion right there. Wow. What a shot from Medeiros. I mean, he just flung it behind his head, and it ties the game at 4 apiece. Got a High Point player slow to get up. Rab will launch this one, coming close to us up here, and it's Bellamo's coming down with it. Curtis gets it behind the net to Amato, and that's just some quick offensive movement by High Point, able to push it up that fast. Howie. Graham Weasel, as we're looking at 13 and change left here in the first half, brought to you by Powell Lacrosse. And if you've heard of Powell Lacrosse, I'm not sure what you're doing. These are the best guys on the market, but that shot is going to score in the meantime. And it's Anthony Bellamo who makes it a 5-4 game. That's the second High Point goal. Mid-attempt at that. Really got to get a better time for these. But visit PowellLacrosse.com to do some shopping around and join the journey. They offer an industry-leading 1-year warranty on all of their products, and every single stick that leaves their headquarters is strung by the hands of a certified Powell craftsman to make sure your stick is throwing perfect right out of the box. Use coupon code NCLL24 for 10% off your entire order and start your relationship with Powell today. Here's a Rasty. Sundin. The Panthers retake the lead again as they break the tie for the third time here today. Here's Howie. Back to Bellamo. And Sundin up to midfield, and it's over and back against High Points. Bryant trying to move quickly here. LaValle, not a good pass from Chipetta. LaValle's able to get it back, though. And push it forward. Sullivan. Back to LaValle. Bryant looking to tie it up again. Consiglio, who scored the first goal in this game for the Bulldogs. Harry Falowski, the captain, with it. Frucci off the bench. Swings it out. Gets it back. Falowski trying to put the Jets on left. He'll spin. Spins again. Gets some space. Takes the shot. Missed it left. It'll stay with Bryant. Good hustle there from Sullivan. Frucci. To Consiglio. Consiglio cuts inside, wiggling through traffic with some space, takes a big hit, stays on his feet with the ball. Chipetta able to pick up the ground ball, and his shot misses a little bit too tall. Nick Mach, the big wall, big number 29 for High Point, was not letting Jason Consiglio get by him there. As we are just at about halfway through this second quarter, Medeiros puts it in the middle. And a push from behind. I think it was against Papilla. But it'll stay with Bryant nonetheless. Frucci. Jason Consiglio with a little screen. Consiglio trying to get around the corner. Has to give it up. Good looking shot. That one gets saved. It's picked up by Consiglio. Chipetta got it denied. A second chance for Consiglio. He gets that one saved again. Adam Rabb. How about a good first half for him? Lunging to make these plays. Rabb, that was a dangerous pass. Sundin, more of a dangerous pursuit there as he almost overran that ball. Comes down with it and crosses midfield. Sundin to Boris. Gives it to Amata, who was right there next to him. back here following the timeout called by High Point. And that's a turnover from High Point. And not what they were looking to draw up there, as it's over the stick of Sundin. Gardner up to Leveroni. Leveroni cuts inside. First to Pesci. Sullivan. Van Luling. Chipetta. Bryant looking to even things up. Pesci, little screen, and it's going to be a hold. Or I think it was an elbow, rather. And it's against Matt Hedden away from the ball. Goes back to High Point. This one almost intercepted by Kiriakos. It'll find Arasti instead. Bounces over to Preston Howie. Trying to work inside is Oz Curtis. Back to Howie. Howie to Curtis. High Point taking their time here. It's Sundin. Boris. Rather, it's Bellamo. Bellamo gets by Courier. Bellamo with some space. He scores. Anthony Bellamo, the first player today with more than one goal. That's his second. And it's half a dozen here in the first half for High Point. And for the first time today, they're up by 2. They've either led or it's been tied up to this point, and the Panthers have the game's first multi-goal advantage here today. High Point up 6-4, and they win the face-off here with Weasel. Zamato. Howie. Swings it out to Bellamo, who just scored the last one. It's Sundin. Sundin putting on the accelerators. That shot is saved by Hall. It's still alive. Carney trying to scoop it up, and off the bounce, it'll be taken by Drew Dubois for Bryant, who's trying to push it, led by Billy Gardner. Has a man, Kiriakos with some space, kicks, Chipetta. Oh, he sailed that one way over the top of the net.
Let's go, D, come on.
Look at these two teams, roster-wise. Bryant with a considerably bigger roster, a whole extra line it looks like, as Chipetta, that one gets by him on the pass from Kiriakos, and Kiriakos is limping now. Best goal scorer for Bryant looks to be a little bit shaken up here. He's going to come off the field as well. 5 minutes left here in the first half. Sundin. Howie. Curtis trying to back down his man, and he's going to bounce that one over to Sundin. Sundin at midfield. He'll defer this one to Howie. Hoey, he's picked up defensively by Ryan Sockel. We haven't seen Hoey, at the X here today, and we'll try to make something happen on this play. Wrapping around, kicks inside. It was in between a couple of Panthers there, and Amato and Curtis, neither of them got it, and it's a turnover for High Points. Back the Bulldogs' way. Gardner. Frucci. Coming near side. Frucci will try to throw a shoulder at low. He gets in the middle, and Van Luling with it now. Taking his time, and just over 3 minutes left in the first half. Looks like the 2-7 game across the pond, Marist and Westchester, has reached halftime. Winner of this game plays the winner of that game, Van Luling. Here's Frucci. Inside, that one is off the fingertips of Sullivan. It's right back to High Point. It's Jeff Arasti leading the break. Numbers here for High Point. Bryant catching up. Low, goes some space, gets by Van Luling, takes it, and it gets saved by Hall, and a whistle blows first and a push from behind. I think that was Van Luling shoving low after he took the shot. And High Point will take a timeout with just over 2 minutes left. Here in the first half, they lead by 2, 6-4. Panthers trying to expand on that entering the break. We'll be right back here on Fans Only Sports Network. All right, back here for some NCLL action. Panthers lead it by 2. Fresh out of the timeout, drawing something up to try to go up 3, entering the break. As High Point, they're riding high here with 2 unanswered goals. After it was a 4-4 game. And on the other side, it's Westchester, actually. The 7th seed. They lead at 5-3 at the break over Marist. Sorry, Westchester is the 2 seed, so I guess it checks out. But Marist keeping it close in the first half. We'll stay tuned on that one. Here's Hoey. Hoey kicks, and that one is in out of the midst of Wessel. Wessel picks it back up, though, and he's going backwards here. They've milked about 45 seconds since the timeout. Bellamo looking for that first half hat trick. He tried to bounce in, he could not. We'll stay with High Point, though, as Amato was there. Bellamo to Hoey. A minute left here in the first half. Hoey gets through, kicks inside. He had a motto in front of the net, and that was deemed a pass, and I think that's a good call by the officials. Back to Bryant. You saw Amato trying to chase up after it to act like it was a shot, which would have given High Point the ball back. But this is not good offense here from Bryant, trying to box out on the end line, though. Chapetta, this one's picked up by McLaughlin. 30 seconds, 25, and counting down, actually. Consiglio. Bryant's only scored once here in the second. McLaughlin with 10 ticks and counting down. Consiglio out of his hands. Fulowski picks it up, falls down, lost the ball, and that is going to end the first half. 6-4 the halftime score as the Panthers, 3 goals in each of the first 2 quarters. We've seen this game tied 3 times here in the first half, but it's High Point in the driver's seat at the break. So we come back, 20 more minutes on the clock. Quarter number 3 will begin as one of these teams has 40 minutes left in their season, all on Fans Only Sports Network. second half action here on Fans Only Sports. Now we're going to start this one with a shout out to our sponsor, Powell Lacrosse. And you know the story of the Powell brothers, starting in a small town, Champion, New York, in a paper mill town. I mean, they're some of the most accomplished lacrosse players of the 2000s. They finished their playing career in 2015, and now in their 9th year of their business, Powell Lacrosse, they've become one of the world's top stick manufacturers, uniform suppliers, and event organizers. The best players are reaching out for Powell sticks. The top teams are wearing Powell on their shoulders, and the best memories are being made at Powell events all around the world. So you can visit powelllacrosse.com to get started, do some shopping around, and join the journey. They offer an industry-leading 1-year warranty on all of their products and every single stick that leaves their headquarters, and use code NCLL24 for 10% off of your entire order, and start your relationship with Powell today. And it looks like High Point has some Powell sticks, and they've punched in 6 goals in the first half. Looking to add on to some more, the number 3 seed here in the Division II side of the bracket. Coming up next, we got some Division I action. It's Ohio State. Sorry, that's it. It's the next game after that, but it's Penn State and Virginia on our side of the field. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then Charlie Adams on the other side of the field will have Navy and Providence. That's the 1 and the 8. As Navy is undefeated entering this tournament. This one's in now the stick of Hoey. High Point, they've played some close games this year. 11 games on the season, and 5 of those games were 1-goal contests. They're 3-2 in those games. But here's Hoey trying to not let it get back to a goal score, as this game was tied 3 times in the first half. High Point retook the lead on all 3 occasions. And this one's intercepted by Ethan Hall. What a play by the goaltender right there. Not a great pass. And it will go out of bounds. Turnover here against Bryant, as Chapetta couldn't save it right in front of us. Two minutes into the third quarter. This one's intercepted. Not a great pass at all from Mulvey. LaValle makes the play on it, and he couldn't hold on to it. And this one also almost got a piece of it. Was Van Luling. Did it touch his stick? They're going to say no. Back to Bryant. And Bryant with a couple, big plays creeping out of nowhere to make them happen here in this early stage of the second half. Van Luling. Medeiros. Other balls on the field, so official timeout. One rolled over as we have all the balls on the end line over there. In case it goes out of bounds, or in a few instances out of play to the parking lot, to the woods. Beautiful campus here at UMD. Lucky to say this is my 3rd time here as a Rhode Islander. Here's Consiglio getting through traffic. Consiglio got hit from behind on the shot by Aiden Boris. Stays with Bryant though. Falowski takes it, and that one deflects as well, as Pipia was on. Will start this possession cleanly. Inside, Consiglio couldn't get a good grip on it. Boris picks it up, and he's off and running. Bellamo leading the break. Inside, it was right there for Amato for his 2nd goal, and he couldn't hold on to it. Unless Hall could have made a tough save. That was point blank. A launch from Gardner to Van Luling. He couldn't hold on to it. Medeiros there on the bounce. And, maybe the weather is starting to affect us a little bit. It's not raining at the moment, but it's very misty. And, a little bit of fog as well here in College Park. Pesci to Van Luling. Bulldogs, they had 3 goals in the first quarter. They've scored 1 in, almost the last 30 minutes of game time. Extra pursuit defensively from Lawhorn, left Frucci open. Pass inside for Chapetta from Pesci. He scores. Joe Chapetta with his second. And the man they called Chippy makes this a 1-goal game again. Bryant looking to sneak up from behind again. It's back to 6-5. We got the word at halftime. My boy Matt, our amazing cameraman, he asked Keo Kiriakos, the leading goal scorer on this Bryant team from the regular season, about his status. We saw him limp off the field late in the second quarter. We're thinking it's a lower leg injury, maybe an ankle, and Kiriakos gave us a thumbs down, and he is still on the bench, writhing in pain, and this will be a false start on the face-off against Bryant, and High Point will start cleanly, up a goal. It's Hoey. Hoey. Extra pass. That shot scores from distance. Bellamo with his third. And a hat trick for Anthony Bellamo. .5 minutes and counting down. Bellamo with his third goal, and that one a strike. From about 15 yards away, bouncing it home and gets a lead back to 2. So, Bryant, whenever they're catching up, High Point has an answer, and they're able to re-extend this lead back up to a pair of goals. This one is loose. Who wants it? It'll be Gardner out of the pile with it for Bryant. Sullivan. And a timeout call by Bryant first with 12:51 to go. Here in the third quarter, the Bulldogs trail by 2. Each team has swapped the goal with each other here in the second half, and still a 2-goal game entering the first timeout of the second half. How you doing, Maddie? Here for some NCLL action. Bryant following the timeout there, looking to get this deficit back to 1, and there's been no shortage of excitement here in this one. And we called a lot of Bryant games this year for Fans Only Sports. They beat up on a lot of bad teams. They were scoring 20 some games. There was one game against UMass Lowell where they won 20-0 at home, and now they're meeting their match here with High Point, who, like I mentioned earlier, was the #1 ranked team in the preseason rankings for Division II. And Consiglio will come away with this one out of the pile. Consiglio sails that one. But West Point, I mean, they lost in the D2 championship last year to Westchester. Looking to punch their ticket back there. And they've yet to trail here today. This one low, recovers it, up ahead. It's a good look for Sundin. Sundin fires, and it's off to the right side of the net. Stays with High Point, though, as Amato was there. My apologies, I did not restart the clock. So the clock is running without being turned off here in these games, except for a timeout or a goal score or official timeout in the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Bellamo. They say 10 minutes left. Good look, shot, score, too easy for Graham Wessel, his second. Nobody was on him there, and it's the Panthers taking their largest lead of the game, 8-5. Checking in on that Westchester Marist game across the pond. Westchester leading it 8-5 right now. That shot right off the faceoff, looking for a back-to-back was Wessel. Could not. Stays with High Points. Checking in on that Here's Hoey. Over to Bellamo. D2 action has been marvelous here so far today. Bellamo got that one saved. He was looking for his fourth. And down the field, it's going to find Drew Dubois. Dubois over to Sullivan. LaValle. So our clock's a little bit behind. I think it's more so around 8 and change left here in the third quarter. LaValle, a little fake. And he turns it over. Not a good turnover there. Driving through traffic. He's able to get up off the move. Shot saved by Hall. Flag is down, though. It'll be against the Bulldogs, and Gardner is the one going to the box. So 30 seconds for the push. Man up try here for the Panthers, who lead it by 3. And, you know, a 4-goal lead is no certainty. We just saw Georgetown blow a 9-5 lead against Union in the second half. And although this thing's still at 3, a lot can happen here, and that's a goal for Sundin, his second. On the man up. Makes it 9-5. Whoops, my audio went out for a sec, but They're really trying to take control of this game there as Wessel sailed that one a little bit too tall. Goes back to Bryant. Hall up to midfield. It's Van Lulling. Five and a half minutes to go. That's the word on the field. Here in the third, it's Medeiros to Chapetta. Van Lulling circling around the net. Bryant trailing for the biggest deficit of the game up to this point. They're telling Van Lulling to give it up on the Bryant bench, and he still has it. Van Lulling still holds on to it. I mean, he's had it for about a minute at this point almost. Tiptoe in the end line. He stepped out of bounds. Oh, that's a terrible turnover from Mike Van Lulling. And the Bryant bench, I mean, they're not happy about that one. I'll tell you that. I don't know what Mike Van Lulling was doing right there. Here's Amato. Extra pass, inside shot is saved by Hall. What a save on the shot from Amato. And that one's over and back against I just call him Holy Cross, against High Point, excuse me. Sullivan to Frucci. Four minutes left. Here is Consiglio. Some green grass, looking for an open man. He'll find one in Will Medeiros. Medeiros gives it up. Sullivan pass inside. That one is too tall, but it finds Frucci about 10 yards behind. Frucci will stop on a dime spin. Kick. Sullivan inside. Chapetta scores! A hat trick for Joe Chapetta. So he's got 3 of the 6 Bryant goals. Broke his stick in the action as well. And you see that, I mean, that's a tough piece right there. But Chapetta, I mean, he's putting the offensive load, or at least a good chunk of it, on his back right now. He scored 3 goals up to this point. 9-6, the score. Back to High Point as they win the faceoff. It's Sundin. So, I mean, Bryant, we saw him down 4 a moment ago, but they have not let High Point really definitively get away with this thing up to this point, despite not leading yet. Here's Preston Hoey, who's been very active. Actually, no, my apologies. I was looking at the wrong guy there. It's Belamo now. Belamo up to Sundin. As we're looking at the final 2 minutes here of the third. Reminder, our clock a minute ahead. There's Wessel. Wessel has scored twice today. Picked up by LaValle. And you know High Point is going to try to milk some of this clock. A flag is down. It's going to be against Bryant. Free play here. Another flag flies. That shot missed for Curtis, and it'll be the advantage now for High Point. And it's LaValle. He slashed twice. Slashed Jack Sundin twice, and for that, Blaze Valley is going to have 2 one-minute penalties here, which is a huge swing. not only of momentum, obviously numbers. And here's a shot, long one. Hall makes the save off the bounce. Taken by Balamo right there. McAloon up ahead. Gardner. Pesci, there's a minute to go in the third. Volowski unable to make the play there. That was not a great pass, and it's tipped over across midfield, scooped up by Sullivan. Bryant looking to cut this to 2 before the break. Frucci. They're milking a lot of this man up. That's in favor of High Point. Pretty defensive, offensive strategy here. They're just scream and hold it, and that's not a great pass from Pesci at all. Volowski couldn't hold on to it, and Amato takes it back down the field, wide open. It's Sundin. He scores. A collapse from Bryant, and Jack Sundin with the hat trick. Just leaking down the field, and just not good at all for the Bulldogs, but the Panthers in double figures now with their 10th. And that will end the third quarter. (10-6) the score after 3. High Point on top by 4. We'll be right back here on Fans Only Sports Network. Everything else. Final quarter of action here from College Park. One of these teams has 20 minutes left in their season. It looks like at the moment Bryant is in desperate need, of some gasoline for their bus home, but still a 4-goal game. There's still a lot of time to go. This game brought to you by Powell Lacrosse. Visit powelllacrosse.com. Do some shopping around and join the journey. They offer an industry-leading 1-year warranty on all of their products, and every single stick that leaves their headquarters is strung by the hands of a certified Powell craftsman to make sure that you get the best stick possible. And you're throwing it perfect right out of the box. Use coupon code NCLL24. False start on the face-off. It's going to go back to Bryant, but coupon code NCLL24 to get 10% off of your entire order and start your relationship with Powell Lacrosse today. Final quarter, Bryant needs to answer back. It's McLaughlin over to Medeiros. Consiglio surveys. Van Luling. Checking in on the other game right now. Westchester up 10-6. Same score as this one. As the winner of this contest once again will play the winner of Westchester and Marist in the NCLL Division II Final Four. Consiglio gets around the corner. Consiglio gives it up. McLaughlin trying to bounce it home. He can't. And Rab will cover up. And it's still alive. It gets pulled back into play. Volowski couldn't hold on to it there. And it's tipped out of bounds. And this will stay with Bryant. So I'm surprised they didn't blow the whistle there when, Rab was on top of it. But Stays with the Bulldogs. Once again, our canopy here. That is the, big white pole in the middle of the screen. As it was coming down this morning in College Park, and forecast for a little bit more rain later, maybe. Can't get all of our equipment soaked. Here's Consiglia looking to cut this to 3. Or the Bulldogs. This is a team that really, never trailed in our time watching them this year at home. Much different territory as they have not led today once. Here's Lowe. Making the tough catch there on the move, Graham Wessel. The big man, Curtis, will make a great move on McAloon. Curtis with some space. Curtis hits the side of the net. Ooh, I thought that was going to sneak in for a sec, but it did not. As Hall up ahead to Van Luling. Inside, extra pass. That one gets knocked away. It was right there for Sullivan. He couldn't finish it off. McLaughlin got it right to in front of the net, and Rabb denies the shot from point-blank range. And there is a penalty as well. It's a body check to the head, and that was against Graham Wessel, I think. Nah, it wasn't. It was against big number 24, Steven Shapiro on a knee, and Bryant with a man up. And they need it here. Frucci to Chapetta. Frucci. Falowski gets hit on the release, and that one goes sailing into the woods. Van Luling. Consiglio, this one is knocked away. It's poked around. It's approaching midfield, and it will be Van Luling who gets there first. This one rolls all the way downfield low, trying to put on the Jets. He's fighting for it with Carney, and Carney will poke it forward to himself and regather possession on the end line here, and actually will not. Amato. The advantage ending as well. It's a flag down. Will be offside against Bryant, I believe. So this free play continues. Here's Curtis. Ahead to Wessel. Wessel extra feed, and that's a ripper from Sundin that sails over the net there, and this will address the flag. And it's Frucci going the box, offsides for 30 seconds, so another advantage here coming up for High Point. Already with 10 goals. I mean, not really already. It is the fourth quarter, but, this game was tied on three different occasions, and ever since it was a 4-4 game once upon a time, the Panthers have scored 6 of the last 8 goals in this one. Hoey. Mulvey. Here is Amato, and Curtis couldn't hold on to that one. He'll chase up to it, and he will retrieve it back. Inside, and that one off the stick of a High Point player, and it's turned over. That ends the advantage as well. Wessel able to get it back here for High Point. Preston Hoey to Amato. Sundin. Sundin falling down, takes the shot. That one goes off to the side. Wessel over to Amato. Little pump fake, fooled Pesci in the air. Pesci recovers defensively. Here's Hoey. He takes it, and that one a low ball off to the side. "12 minutes left in this one. High Point in control. And I'm sure they're going to want to know how much time is left for a different reason than Bryant. I mean, they're just looking to keep this with them as long as they can, and that's not going to how you get it done. But Sullivan couldn't pick it up, and Hoey does instead. There's a flag down. It's against Bryant again. Mulvey to Curtis, so a free player for High Point once again. And Curtis to Jack Sundin. Sundin blows by his defender in Colangelo. Amato. I mean, it was a very promising first quarter for Bryant, and they had 3 goals in the first. They've scored 3 goals since in over 50 minutes of game time. This High Point defense has been spectacular. Here's Howie, and that one gets saved. That might go hit a car. Oh, heads went way into the parking lot. So Jack Carney getting called for the hit to the head. He's going to be locked in the box for a minute there. There's Belmo. Over to Amato. Hoey. Back to Amato. So it's a minute with an extra man on for High Point. And Hoey gets shoved from behind by Gardner. Lost the ball, and Gardner trying to tap it forward to himself. Amato still struggling to get there, and he gets shoved from behind, and Gardner is going to get called for the push. Easy call there against Billy Gardner. As we're inside the last 10 minutes now of this one. Here's Hoey. Inside, good look, shot, score, Wessel, his third. They set up to perfection there and a man-up goal for the Panthers. So he's the third High Point player with a hat trick today. Wessel, Bellomo, and Sundin each with 3 goals apiece. And this lead has ballooned to 5. Face-off 1. Here's Chapetta trying to roll it in. That one goes out to the left, and Bryant skipping no time there. Try to get a shot off. Geppetta to Consiglio. Consiglio missed it right. Race for the ball here, and it's won by the Bulldogs. Sullivan putting on the Jets. Past Jeff Arasti. Medeiros to Falowski. Consiglio falls out of his mitts. Geppetta able to scoop up the ground ball. Stays with Bryant. They blew a couple whistles there. That one actually went to the other field. That is what's going on there. And we gotta do this one more time. Falowski lost it out of his mitts. Hits off the head of Shapiro and it will go out of bounds. And it was last touched by Shapiro off his helmet. Falowski's had a tough time holding on to this ball here in traffic. Nice cut there to get inside. Falowski fires, and it missed wide to the right of the net. Low, his stick came out of his hands there, and it's High Point up 5 with just under 7 minutes left here in this one. Carney. Defers it to Ethan Hall. Now Gardner. Gardner moves it forward for Ben Campbell. Van Luling inside. He got it knocked away from behind by Shapiro. Spipia. Pippi going backwards here. Give it to Howie, and this will be another whistle. And Bryant, I mean, they're getting penalized. That's like their 4th in the quarter, and Howie's shot saved, trying to get his own miss, and it's off his stick last. But it'll be a slash against Mike Van Luling anyways, and a man-up chance for the Panthers. So Bryant has to chill out a little bit. I know that they're down 5 with about 5.5 minutes left in this one, but they leave it all out here. I guess you could say that. That's the 3rd slash they've been called for in the quarter. As we're just about 5 minutes left in this one. And it scores! Oz Curtis with the goal. The big fella makes it a dozen for the Panthers. Apologies, it was Howie. Howie with the goal. Preston Howie, who we've seen be very active today offensively, and the opposite of the big fella. That was Howie. Smallest dude out there, able to punch it in. As the Panthers doubling up on Bryant now, 12-6. So the other game has ended. It's Westchester who's moving on. They win 11-7 over Bryant. And if things hold up here, which they most likely will, Holy Cross will have a date with Westchester later tonight. That game will be at 5 p.m. Geppetta picks that one up and dishes it out. Pesci. Here's Frucci, 3 and change left. And a shot and a score. Chapetta with his 4th. Gets it back down to 5, and Bryant with lucky number 7. Just under 3 minutes left, and Chapetta really, carrying the load offensively here. That's his 4th goal of the game. And he scored all the goals in the second half for Bryant, all 3 of them for the Bulldogs. This one's into traffic. Providence and Navy entering on the other field. D1 action coming up next here in the NCLL on Fans Only Sports Network. Navy and Providence at 1 o'clock on the other field. And with us, we have Virginia taking on Penn State. The 4 and the 5. PSU the 4, Virginia the 5. Under 2 minutes left, and High Point can kind of just milk this thing out for the most part as Wessel over to Hoey. Hoey will just spin around, waste some more time, up to Wessel. They might want to get one more. There's no risk in doing this. It wasn't like the last game where it was a 1-goal contest, but here's Mulvey. Minutes ago is the official verdict. Here's Wessel. Behind the back look over to Hoey. Puts it on net, and Hall makes the save. This one is poked back into play, and LaValle will get there for Bryant. Goes out of bounds. Goes back to High Point. So, might be the last time that the Bulldogs touch it this season. Here's Curtis to Lowe. 10 seconds left, as you can hear below us. High Point, the preseason number 1. And the runner-ups last year looking for a revenge tour, flung up in the air, and the Panthers win here in the Elite Eight. 12-7 over the Bulldogs as they are desperate to return back to the promised land in the championship game tomorrow. They win their first game here today in dominating fashion. What a second half it was for High Point. And the Bulldogs going back to Rhode Island. And their season has come to an end here today at College Park. But High Point will play at 5 p.m. against Westchester, the 2 seed. Later on, we'll have that game on this same field. Field 2, other broadcast teams, right, with Charlie Adams on Field 1. We'll have Union taking on Kentucky. So when we come back, that's it for D2 until 5 p.m. D1 action, it's Penn State and Virginia coming up next here on Fans Only Sports Network. You don't want to miss it. Brought to you